Hi there, this is Callie with craftingcallie.wordpress.com. I've made a birthday card here using one of Simon Says Stamp's newest releases, and I wanted to show you how to color them using some Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. The set is called Birthday Celebration, and here I'm using the Misty tool to line up where I want my stamp, and then I'll also set the stitch die that I want to use on there to make sure it's exactly where I want it. And then I'm also going to stamp the balloon image on here, and it doesn't have to be anywhere specific. I'm going to be cutting this balloon out. So here's the stitch die. It stitches on both sides of the cut, and I really like these dies. So I am going to put magnets on my card to make sure the cardstock doesn't go anywhere, and then I will ink it up with VersaFine ink. This is a pigment ink, and it's fast drying, but I do want to emboss it to make sure that it does not smear when I go to color it. So here I have some Recollections clear ink, so nothing too fancy. I do have a lot of the stuff that I need to use up before I decide to use other products, so this is something I just got at Michael's. And I'll go ahead and heat set that, and I have to say Versamark ink is so crisp, and I am so impressed by this ink. I usually don't use this ink. I usually reach for the Memento first. So I was pleasantly surprised at how well this inked up, and that was the reason why I used the Misty. I thought it was going to give me a bad impression at first because this is watercolor paper. So anyway, the color numbers will be in the top left-hand corner there, so you can figure out what colors I'm using. It goes from dark to light. And so I'll just be coloring these using the darkest colors first, wherever I think the shadows are, and then I'll be blending them out with the medium and the lighter colors. So I'll go ahead and play some music and let you watch while I color, and then I'll be back once all the coloring is done. So now that I've finished coloring, I'm going to be cutting this image out here with that original stitch die that I had planned, and then I'll cut out the balloon and I'll try my best to cut that string. And now that I think about it, I don't know why I cut that string and spent that much time trying to cut it perfect when I could just draw in a string. But nonetheless, it happened, and this was the way the card came together. So once that's cut out, I will bring back my Misty and try to stamp the sentiments on this card. Originally, I had planned on stamping the sentiments on on other parts of the card, but I decided I wanted it on this portion of the card. So I try my best to line it up there so that it's not touching the border or the elephant itself. But I think that the colored image turned out so cute, and this is my first time coloring with it, so I'm not a professional. So I hope that you'll understand that, you know, it's not that hard to do. You just need to do it. So I hope that it gives you a little bit of encouragement to try it yourself. So here I think the sentiment stamped out pretty well, and I'll be embossing this as well to make sure that it doesn't smear, and the gleam or gloss on it after embossing really does make the image pop, and I think it looks really nice. So I'll add some embossing powder. And I really didn't prep these surfaces with an embossing buddy, but I keep forgetting to do that, and I really need to remember to do that more often. So yeah, as you can see here, it's a very crisp black, and I think it looks great. So I'm pulling in some Marina Mist blue cardstock here by Stampin' Up, and I'm going to create a border frame that the elephant portion is going to be sitting on top of. So I will tape that down and make sure that it's exactly where it needs to be. So I went ahead and cut that off camera using my Big Shot, and what I'll be using there is that blue frame to the right. The center panel, since it's stitched all the way around, can be used for another project, so I went ahead and saved that. So now I have 110 Recollections cardstock that I'm going to be using for a card base, and I'll adhere that blue frame to it using some ATG adhesive. I like this adhesive for paper to paper mounting. It's strong enough, and although it's big and bulky, it really does go a long way, and in the long run I think it saves a lot of money. And so once that's down, I'll go ahead and add some 3M foam tape to that watercolor piece. I could use some fun foam, but I haven't broken into my package that I've purchased, so I'm almost done with this roll, and I'll have to use a new roll as well. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise in the background. My 2-year-old is playing with Legos, and he's bringing them to me to disconnect and put stuff together. So I apologize for that. So I've added my watercolor piece to this card, and I'll go ahead and adhere the balloon to it. I'm going to add some 3M foam tape towards the top there to keep that balloon from getting destroyed in the mail or whatever, but helps it prop it up to the same level as that white panel as well. And like I said, I could have drawn in the string for this balloon, and that would have been a whole lot easier. But since it's there, I went ahead and added some multimedia matte glue to the back of that string. It's not very thick, of course, the string, so I had to carefully add just a thin layer of the multimedia matte glue to that. So I'm going to add a heavy acrylic block to it, and just about 10-20 seconds or so will do. And once that's good and dry, I'm going to use my Wink of Stella to add some shimmer to the balloon and also to the party hat stripes. And that completes my card. So I hope you've liked it. As always, thank you for watching. And please hit like if you want to see more, and also hit subscribe if you want to know when I'll upload a future video. For a list of supplies, please visit my blog at craftandcali.wordpress.com, and the link to this blog post will be linked below. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.